Welcome to Postcards from Provence and join us on our latest adventure, the 1200-kilometre bike ride from Devon to the south of France. It didn't quite start as we'd planned, but that became the story of the trip, so join us for more. The plan was to start in Exeter, make our way down through France. We would go to Portsmouth, cross on the ferry to Saint Malo, and then take a route down the west coast of France, aiming to go into the Dordogne to see some of the beautiful villages there and watching some rugby on the way, before ending up back in the Luberon. It all started with a bed full of stuff that got loaded into these and popped onto our Trek checkpoint bikes. It actually fitted quite well. Then it was time to head off. A grey, stormy day, and the weather didn't get that much better as we headed towards Exeter and our train, or what we expected to be our train, which when we arrived had been cancelled. So instead of a gentle trip through the south of England, we dashed onto 3 different trains on a route that caused so much stress. We went via Bristol, Reading, and finally arrived into Southampton, which was such a relief. But eventually we made it onto the Pink Ferry at Hamble and were on our way to Portsmouth. It was a bit slippy getting off the ferry, but worth the trip. Another ferry then from Gosport through to Portsmouth, to catch our boat, not that one, this one, for the trip to Saint Malo. Saint Malo is a beautiful old town, and we took the time to park up the bikes and explore the place that we loved so many years ago. We walked to the walls, watching as the town came to life, enjoying the views before heading on and stumbling across a brocante market, so of course we had to stop. Then it was on down the Rance estuary, beautiful quiet roads, and the weather was being kind. We cycled through pretty villages, this one right on the edge of the Rance. And crossed the river on the old bridge. It was beautifully quiet, rather than the more modern one, which was much busier. We cycled past hydrangeas, said hello to cats, and on into the port of Dinan. This is an ancient old riverway that has been serving boats for many hundreds of years. The old bridge, just there, used to be the only crossing along the Rance. But now it's a little bit of a tourist haven, and we stopped, enjoyed lunch watching the world pass by, and a cuisine au man, a local delicacy. Then we headed on along the perfect cycle path alongside the river, just as the rain started to fall. Hopefully it wouldn't get any worse. It was very beautiful. But then the rain did get worse. And we got soggier, our shoes filled with water, as we pedalled on, deciding not to camp for the first night. So we found an Airbnb, stopped off in Montfort-sur-Mer, and headed on again the next morning, which was drier and through these beautiful forests on the way out of the town.
Rush hour in Brittany. Got to love cycling in France. Smooth roads, no traffic, lovely.
Roads are so much easier to ride, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
We always choose roads that are quiet, away from the busy ones, and the views are always worth it. It may take a bit longer, but it really makes you experience the countryside. Like this little place where we turned up just expecting a second breakfast and came across these old trees that had been cut down and turned into rather quirky sculptures in the churchyard. The only place that we come across busier traffic is across the river bridges like this one here. But we made up for it by stopping for crates before cycling on again along the beautifully empty roads. You can't help but smile. Then it was good enough to camp. We found a campsite at Blan, just off the Vale Odyssey cycle route and the Nantes-Brest Canal, and set about the process of putting up the tent for the very first time. It actually went quite well. Perhaps not the 10 minutes they said, but not too much longer. And actually, once it was up, there was plenty of room inside for us and all our kit. And it was just in the nick of time, as within minutes the rain started and we had to decamp somewhere dry for pizza and beer. After a ridiculously good night's sleep and not much more rain, we ambled into town, had breakfast with the village dog, and after packing up, set off again on the quiet roads down towards the Loire.
This is our control centre when we're riding. Julie's always in front. She loves a good old-fashioned map, and then she uses Komoot, where she's preloaded a route on, but she can easily change it. And I happily follow her wherever she goes.
So with the route set, we continued on towards the crossing of the Loire, seeing the first signs of autumn with the birds gathering on the wires, and egrets happily keeping cows company in the fields alongside us. Before we reached our little crossing point.
What do you remember, Julie?
I just remember arriving here last time I did it, just bursting into tears that I'd got this far. It was such a landmark, and now it's just on our way down through France. Still makes it cool.
So we're going to cross the Loire now. We're waiting for the ferry, that's over there, to come back.
We used it 2 years ago when we rode down, and I still haven't forgotten the experience and how I felt when I got there. It's an incredible service that runs every 20 minutes from Couronne to Le Pèlerin, and it's free. So you just wheel your bike on, or your car, and you wheel off the other side. But it's a great way to cross the river, avoiding the busy road bridges. And lunch was waiting for us on the other side. So that's the first stage done. Join us on the next part as we go on to the Marais Breton, the Ile de Noirmoutier, and through to the Marais Poitevin. Hope to see you then, and hope you enjoy travelling with us. Thanks for joining and subscribe for more.